Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alicia.
I'm Nathan.
And I'm Michaela.
Welcome to episode 65 of Adventures and Mousecapades. Today, we are going to discuss the abomination of an Easter-time snack that is known as marshmallow peeps. Are they a valid snack? Should they be flambéed into oblivion? Let's find out.
D, all the above.
I do not like peeps.
I didn't realize this is what we were doing. I think I might be in the wrong place.
Did you click on the wrong meeting link? Whoops.
Who are you guys?
You know us. Well, we've known you. We were just talking. Like we've known each other for the better part of like 2 decades. And
I know.
Like
it's a long time.
Before kids, before
yes.
insanity, and
yes. It's been a long time. It's so good to be with you guys.
yeah, it's been great to catch up for the last few minutes. Even though we've seen each other, we haven't had a chance to just like chat in forever.
I know, and really take a deep dive into Disney. That's what
right.
we really like. Let's just carve out some time. We got a deep dive into Disney.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Doesn't everybody schedule time on their calendar
Yes.
like weeks in advance to talk about Disney?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have found my people right here.
It's funny. Every time I go to the dentist, they start talking Disney with me because they know.
They know.
No.
Yeah, you're a safe place. You're a safe person.
Well, you've had the same thing. Like we were talking, like you've started planning trips for friends and acquaintances and.
Yeah. They see a corner of my insane extra spreadsheet and they think to themselves, all right, yeah, she's crazy. She can help me. And then I hear somebody else say, yeah, so-and-so told me to talk to you because they said you had a spreadsheet about the food and I need to see that spreadsheet. So yeah, word got out that I had spreadsheets, which I have loved. I have loved talking about my spreadsheets.
Spreadsheets are popular.
Yes.
Color-coded?
Yep. We may have something similar.
Yeah.
Which spreadsheet do you want to talk about?
Yes.
Food, rides.
We have one that tracks all of our trips that we've ever taken, and we're having to scroll.
One.
Yes. We're having to scroll
so
now.
Fun. What do you document? Just like when it happened?
Yeah. When it happened, how many nights, whether it was a cruise or land-based,
Whether
where
we
it
took
was,
the kids or not.
if we took the kids or not. Everybody has their own little column. So Alicia has a column, Caitlin has a column, Nathan has a column, Sterling has a column.
I'm a program
so
manager,
fun.
so I had to start tallying up this
data.
is how I'm like, so-and-so has X number of cruises. I'm 2 cruises less than that. So we've got to fix that.
Justice police.
That's right. That's right. I need justice. So Michaela, how did Disney infect your life?
How did it infect my life? That's a great question. Well, I've gone, as a kid and as a teenager, and the nostalgia is real. And, I was a 14-year-old who bought a Main Street Electrical Parade cassette tape and played it in my boombox over and over. Like the Main Street Electrical Parade soundtrack, it's just the same thing over and over again. So I that was me. But it probably didn't really infect me. Like that didn't really make me make spreadsheets or anything. It wasn't until I had a couple of little kids and we were gonna go on our first trip to Disneyland. So which was in 2019 and my kids were 2 and 3. And I wanted to make it as, the best experience possible for them. Yeah. And so I did a ton of research. I think I'm the Enneagram 6 with a 5 wing, if that means anything. Because the 5 is gathering information and That's totally me. Like I was just trying to like learn as much as I could. I wanted to know what ride to go on first, what ride to go on second, what ride to go on third. I wanted to know like all about the food. So I just learned as much as I could. But then when we went, it was like, I mean, there were tears and, you know, it was real life. We're humans.
It was John crying mostly, right?
It was
Your husband?
Yeah, stoic John. And really, the only tears were my littlest one, which we'll get into later. This is my littlest one not being able to ride some of the rides that the bigger kid could ride on. Those were literally the only tears we had the whole time. But it was just so fun. Like it really felt like we were walking into a completely different world. It felt like a drug, like almost that sounds really unhealthy, but like because life is just so hard and so stressful, and it just felt like I could just sort of go into a world that was make believe. And especially with my kids, like I've thought about going by myself, and I think that would be fun for its own reasons, but I am always like, but I want my kids. There's something about like experiencing it with my kids that I feel like I would really miss out on if I just went by myself. I wouldn't hate it if it was like, you have to go. I'd be like, great. But I think my favorite part is because of the kids, because I want to just give them, you know, that experience of just being kids, you know, and being able to just be and make believe and have fun and play pretend. And like, so since then, I've been pretty obsessed. And we were supposed to go right before the shutdown happened, like literally like the night before the shutdown. We had like our bags packed. We had been planning it for a year. We had like 14 members of our extended family. Like we were ready. And we found out that day that it was going to be closed the next day. So it was canceled. So pretty much we had this like Disney trip hanging out there for like 2 years, where it was like this, you know, that we were waiting for. So then when we went back, and it just was incredible. And so anyway, that's a long-winded answer, but
no, it's perfect. How many times have you been with the family at this point?
Just 3 times.
Okay, just 3. It's okay.
Well, I know. Am I qualified enough to talk about Disneyland?
Yes.
If we've just been 3 times. There was a shutdown in there. There were like a lot of time in there that it was just closed.
You had a lot of time to research.
I had a lot. I really have done a lot of research, and we've been in the parks for a lot of days on those trips. I find myself just like daydreaming about it, like thinking about like, oh, when we're going to go next and where are we going to stay? And like, it's just, I think it really is like some type of like coping mechanism. Like, I really do think it's like good for my mental health. Like, especially like I have kind of a stressful job. Like, so it's kind of a place where I can just sort of like pop into like, you know, a little la la land. And oh my gosh, I'm sounding so unhealthy. But anyway.
It is a happy place. It is a magical place.
Thank
Good
you.
things happen.
Thank you, Alicia.
It's the whole nostalgia thing. It's the whole wonder and magic of it. And it just creates happiness in people.
Yes, you're my people.
I had a one-on-one with my boss today, and we were going to dive into some kind of weighty topics. And she's like, you good? We want to cover this stuff now? I'm like, well, I'm like, the countdown is on in my brain. I leave in less than a week to go to Disney.
Oh, wow.
Let's just put a pin in that, and we'll cover that when I get back. Like, I'm already gone for all intents and purposes. So it is such a lovely, you were right. It's an escape, right? It is a healthy serotonin happiness drug that you can just inject straight into your brain. And
it's not harmful.
That's not, it is slightly addictive.
Yeah,
And
that's
you can
true.
lose a lot of money, but
Other than that, it's not harming anyone.
other than that, it's fine.
Yeah. And that experience for my kids. Like it really does feel like a drug in that I have found being a mom that for good or for bad, I am addicted to their happiness. Like I feel like them being happy and healthy is like, my main thing. Yeah. So finding Disneyland and it's just like, all right, this is this is a drug for me because I'm seeing them be so happy.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's just, that's addicting to me.
And just seeing their reactions to things it can be so amazing and really induce tears, definitely. Just seeing how they react in their emotions and their happiness. I've definitely cried on behalf of my kids a couple of times just from us going places and seeing how they react and how much they love it. And just interactions with characters and being able to ride rides for the first time, stuff like that.
Yeah. It's special. It's really special.
Did you get to take that big, huge trip with everybody eventually?
No, it never happened. We all just sort of went on our own because it was just sort of like, it was just sort of, it is past.
Yeah.
So, but everybody has gone.
Yeah. We lost one of those trips too, that we had it wasn't to a park, but we were going to do a big shindig out in Alani and do a vow renewal and stuff. And the pandemic just ate that entirely.
Catch it on the next round.
Yes, exactly. You said you were going to Disneyland like the day before, or you found out right when they shut down. We were supposed to be in Disneyland too at that same time.
I think I remember sort of talking about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was on the tail end of our Panama Canal cruise, and we would have gotten there, I think, like March 28th or 29th or something like that.
Yeah. Our first day was March 13th.
Okay.
The day they announced everything was closing, we were literally in the middle of the Panama Canal.
That's right.
And had self-service and everything. So everybody was like, well, let's rebook our flights and all this stuff while we still can. So,
do you think you guys will do another or try again for a group trip?
I don't know. I think we'll see. TBD. Yeah. I think because everybody has gone already, I think maybe it's just sort of like done, like, oh, we did it and we don't need to re-get everybody together. And I'm probably the one in the big group who's like really excited about Disneyland. Everybody else is like, that's fine. It's fun. But, probably I'd rather do something else is sort of, so it's okay. It's totally fine.
they're allowed to be wrong. It's fine.
It's totally fine. I know. Sometimes I feel like, I don't know if you guys ever feel like this. Sometimes I feel like I have to defend like my love for Disney, and I get very self-conscious about it. Like, I know, I'm sorry, I like Disneyland, and I'm sorry, it's in a consumer. I know, I'm sorry, and
Here's how you answer that. Here's how you answer that. I'm sorry you don't like Disney very much. It's my happy place, and it's what makes me happy. So
it makes me happy. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, it doesn't.
Everybody has their own thing that they really enjoy.
Yeah, that's true. I know. Anywho.
So you've recently started an Instagram account that
thank you.
is
Yes.
Mickey and Mick. So Mickey _ MC. And you've been sharing just a ton of amazing content about Disneyland. It's been absolutely fantastic what you've done.
Nathan. Thank you.
So congrats on the launch.
Thank you. Congrats. Here's my medal.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you shared a series of posts, I think it was last week, about a bunch of tips and tricks and thoughts on what it's like to take kids of various ages to Disneyland.
Yeah.
And I thought your insights were just phenomenal, and I wanted to share those with our listener.
Yeah.
Listeners.
No, listener. No, I think there's just one. I think there's just one.
We have more than one. Two.
It's just John. Actually, no, John won't even listen to this. No, that's my husband.
So we can talk about him. Perfect.
Perfect. Deep dive. That's what everybody wants to know. Thank you. I've been loving this brand new little Instagram account on social media that I have no clue about anything to do with social media. So it's been really fun. It's been really fun because I really love to talk about Disneyland, and I love helping people, and I love writing. So it's just been fun. So it's a question I actually have gotten quite a few times. It's actually the question I get the most is, what age is the best age to go to Disneyland? Which I think it just reflects we all, especially if it's like we are only going to go to Disneyland once. Like this is our once in a lifetime. It's so much money. It's gonna, we want to make this the best, like really the best experience we possibly can for our kids and our family. So I think it's a great question. And I think just though the first thing I always say to people is like, every family is different. Like, obviously, like I cannot just say 8.5. That is it. Like, that is the age that every single kid has. It's like, first of all, it's a privilege to even go to Disneyland. And it's like what an incredible opportunity to even go in the first place. Right. But then every kid is so different. And some kids need to wait until later. And some kids are, so it really, really depends. So every kid is different. Every family is different. I feel like sometimes families get stressed out about like, if we don't do it by this time, then it'll just be a whole waste. It's like, absolutely not. Like any age, and you guys can attest to this, like any age, it will be magical. It will be so fun for so many different reasons. So it's not like you have to hit this perfect little like time. It's like whatever works for your family. If you can't go for a couple more years, great. Like go then.
The first time I ever went to Disney World was because I'm an East Coaster, so I'm Florida side, right? But the first time I ever went, I was a freshman in high school, and it was a band trip with our concert band and our marching band from the high school I was in, and it was like I get goosebumps thinking about that experience even today. Like it doesn't have to be real little. There is no perfect age.
Yeah. No, it's whatever works best. And I think sometimes we just stress out. Well, I'll speak for myself. I stress out too much about making everything perfect. And we really just need to give ourselves a lot of grace. Like it's okay. And also just, I mean, if anybody's listening to this, they're probably Disney fans or love Disney. But I do have to say too, like, it's okay to not even go. Like there's really, like, there's so much pressure to like, I have to give this experience to my kids. And it's like, we're fine. It's okay. It's fine. Like there's gotta be grace too. So, so do whatever makes sense for your family, period. That's my answer. I have no other things to say. Just kidding.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks. That's it. That's all we need.
So like my posts were, I kind of took it by age group. Like I sort of thought about, under 3s, that they're sort of a certain, type. And then like a 3 to 5-ish, like a preschooler. And then sort of like early elementary, like 8 to 12. And then teenagers is sort of how I thought of it. And then I just sort of shared just some things to keep in mind for that age group. Maybe, I mean, it's not even like pros and cons. It's just like, here are just things to be aware of with this age group. So,
I know when you first took your kids, you said they were 2 and 3 for the first time. What are some tips that you learned from taking your very young kiddos to Disneyland? And we probably have a couple too, because the first time Sterling went, he was 18 months old? Maybe?
No, he was 2.5.
2.5.
Well, first of all, they're little angels because you can just take them wherever you want to take them, right? Yeah. It's just like, you're in the stroller, we're going this way.
Yes.
That's that. Like, that's pretty great. They'll just go wherever. I mean, they might cry a little bit or they might, but for the most part, you can just take them where you want. So that's pretty great. Yeah. I loved having a stroller. I mean, I know that some people, it's kind of annoying, but I love just having a place to store all the crap. Like we didn't have to think about like, oh, should we take that? It's just like, just throw it in the stroller. And like, and you could move really quickly from one side of the park to the other side of the park. And it's just like, let's go. And it was a place where they could rest. Like that was awesome. Getting home at night, back to the hotel was easy because it's just like put them in the stroller and you're cruising home. Something though that if I could go back, our 3-year-old was able to ride some of the rides. He was 40 inches at that time, so he could do like Big Thunder Railroad. He could do Radiator Springs Racers.
Oh, yeah.
But this 2-year-old could not. And we were dum-dums. Don't do this. We all went to the ride together and waved our 3-year-old off. And that was just stupid. Because, like I said before, this is the only time that our 2-year-old cried, was like, I want to go. It's like, yeah, duh. We just brought him here to see. It's like, so then we smartened up and we would separate and we'd do something really special with the 2-year-old, like go get a cookie and like, so that was a lesson we learned. And that would have saved us a little bit of heartache. But for those littles, like it was really all about the characters, the parades, the shuttle to and from the airport. Like these are the things that literally there was like the highlight of their trip. So also just to keep in mind for that age group, like you will absolutely not do everything. And like you have to go into it being really flexible, and like you can't just be like, I want to see it all and do it all. It's like you're going to have to take a lot of breaks. You're going to have, like you're going to go a lot slower. So just if you're okay with that, then great. But if you're not, I would say probably wait.
Where have you stayed when you're with the kids and everything at Disneyland? Are you are you on property? Are you at a good neighbor hotel, like close? How's?
Yeah, we've done both. We've never stayed farther than like a mile away.
Okay.
But the first time we went, we did the Disneyland Hotel. And that really was strategic because we went in January when the hours, they were, open. I think it was like 9, a later opening time. So we really wanted to take advantage of that early entry time. You can go in, and just being closer to was really great. But then we have stayed at good neighbor hotels as well.
Yeah.
I feel like proximity is like pretty much the number one thing that we look for, especially just having little kids. I think it'll be different once they get like older, but proximity is like one of the major priorities.
There's nothing like being either on property or literally we've stayed like right across the street from the entrance there. And it's so great to just be able to duck out of the park in early afternoon and like, okay, it's time to have some chill time in the hotel room.
Take a nap.
And then we'll charge back and head out at night or things like that. So even
It's
you can
essential.
do that you can do that to a certain degree in Disney World, but it's definitely more difficult because everything is a lot more spread out. California is much more convenient for that kind of in and out flexibility
and hopping between the two parks. It's just a small little parking lot, really. And it's not even a parking lot. It's just like some cement.
I think you hit the nail on the head, though, in terms of just being flexible. Like, don't have an expectation list that's a mile long.
Yeah.
And if you get 2 rides in and some snacks and you get to see a parade walk by and that's a full day and an amazing, like, have low expectations. Disney magic will happen. They'll be exceeded. But don't try to do too much.
Don't try to do too much.
With smaller kids like that, you definitely only want to have 1 or 2 big goals for the day.
That's
with the knowledge
what I was
that
going to say,
you may not hit that. If you do, it's just a plus.
Yes, that's totally what I was going to say. Like the managing your expectations, especially if there's something like seeing Lightning McQueen. Like that would be like, I really want to, like one of our kids, that was something that he really wanted to see. It's like, so... okay, that we can prioritize that. And then everything else will be, a bonus. Like you really have to manage your expectations and really talk to your kids about like what, and we had to give them context to what Disneyland even was. So something that I did was I printed out pictures from the internet of like Big Thunder Railroad, and I printed out like pictures of the characters and printed out pictures of different rides and stuff in the castle. And like as the countdown went on to when we were going to leave, there was like one more picture up on our little board, and so they could actually see and understand. Oh, because literally they had no context to what Disneyland was. So that was helpful for them to be like, oh yeah, that. So then they were able to think about what things they might want to see, like, oh, that looks fun, or I want to do that, or that. So then we could take that information and prioritize those things, like those one or two things that.
Right.
So I think that's really helpful to just talk about as a family. What are things that you really, so nobody leaves like disappointed or like, hey, I really wanted to see Goofy. It's like, well, I had no idea. If you talk about that beforehand, you can help make it happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. These days, you're still using all those pictures, but you're like doing a quiz. Like, no, that's wrong. That's in the wrong place. It's over there.
Wait, is it in Tomorrowland? Is it in Galaxy's Edge? Is it? Yeah, it's a quiz.
We're going to drill this till you get these right.
What's the height requirement?
That's right.
How does it change when you go to the next age bracket? So like 3 to 5 year olds. Yeah.
Well, one, it's not free anymore. But that might be a big thing. But I think when they go into like the 3, 4, 5-year-olds, this is probably the age group that I would say is the most like that would require the most judgment call, because you could really have a kid who can be really overstimulated or sensitive or loud noises. And this age range in particular, I would say to really look at your kids to think like, okay, is this something that would be a happy place for them, or should maybe they wait? The thing about this age range, though, is the childlike wonder is 100% there. Yeah. And like it is in full force. Yeah. And this is like an absolute joy to experience that wonder. I think something else that changes too from like the under 3s is this is when they'll really start becoming tall enough to ride most of the quintessential rides, which I think is a big deal. And really exciting. So like Rise of the Resistance and Star Tours and Space Mountain, like all like 40 inches, they're going to be ready to go. So that's really exciting. Do you guys know the unofficial guide to Disneyland, that book, or Disney? They have a Disney World one too. It's seriously my Bible. Like I love it. It's unbelievable. So, but they say like the somewhere between 4 and 6 years old is when they're going to experience the first vacation that he or she will remember as an adult. So this is also like a really big deal. Like, and this is true for my kids. Like they will bring up things that we don't have pictures of, we haven't really talked about, that I don't even really remember. And I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen. So it really is incredible that like they're so little, but they can remember certain things. Like, so that's really exciting.
I think that's important to remember too for the families who are going to potentially, for whatever reason, have a Disneyland or a Disney World one and done. Yeah. Don't do it too early. Like if one of your primary goals is like, this is the one time we're probably ever going to be able to do this. I want to make memories, core memories for these kiddos that they're going to hold. Like going at 2 or 3 probably isn't going to work.
I would say for the one and done, if we're making that call for somebody, I would say wait and get past the preschool age, especially because for kids who, like I said before, some of us in our family are highly sensitive and can get overstimulated and it can get really difficult. And so it just gets easier as they get older. Something that we did, just in case there's anybody out there who also has people in their family who get overstimulated, like the headphones were really great for us. Like we took the headphones everywhere, and even in like some of the rides, like they would just wear those, and for the fireworks, and that helped a ton. And taking a lot of breaks, obviously, but that would be for like any kid. But before we move on from preschoolers, like I can't not mention Cars Land. Like there is nothing like Cars Land for a preschooler. Like I think that age for Cars Land, preschoolers, it's like there's nothing better, frankly. Like it's just so immersive and
it is for Star Wars for us older kids.
yeah, Cars
Right.
Land
It is the galaxy's edge of for young kids.
That's totally true. So if you have a Cars fan, like
Yeah.
Yep.
preschool,
And especially
is
at night.
It's so gorgeous. Yeah.
Especially at night. It
Have
is
you guys
gorgeous.
have you been done the Shaboom lights at sunset where
We haven't been there for when they all turn on. We've tried a couple of times, but we've either just missed it or just totally missed it.
it's so magical. It's so because it's just like the movie. Like they turn on the lights coming down the street like one at a time to the music, and it's just like the movie. And and then it's all lit up for at night, and
That's so cool.
So preschoolers and Cars Land.
Yeah, we just have to leave something, so we have to go back, right?
That's right.
The first time Caitlin went, she was 4.5 years old. And this was in Disney World, her very first Disney trip. And she definitely remembers it. She doesn't remember everything about it, but she remembers parts of it, like the surprise that we were going there.
Yeah.
She remembers we did Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique with her. She got to dress up like a princess, and she remembers that part. And there, just little things here and there.
Yeah, it's such a sweet. And the characters still, from our kids, were a big deal. And they were so sweet with the characters. But I think, again, this age is still really, really little. And I think the managing expectations and the taking a lot of breaks, that all still applies. I mean, taking breaks, you could probably apply to like being an adult. Like you've got to take breaks.
We take breaks.
yes. But to make sure that the little ones are getting breaks and is really definitely something to keep in mind for that age group.
Yeah.
On to the next age bracket. So like 6 to 8-year-olds. What are some tips that you have for that group?
Oh, these sweethearts. So I probably should say right off the bat, our kids right now are 6 and 7. Oh, excuse me, 7 and 8.
Whatever. It's fine. It's
1, 2, skip a few.
It's
7 and 8 is how old they are. And so this is we're really biased, but this is this has been our sweet spot. It feels like this is as good as it has been. And we don't know what it's going to be like in the future. And I've done research and I've speculated and all that, but this is where we feel like they're tall enough to ride everything.
Yep.
So you're able to enjoy all the thrill rides together. But a 6 to 8-year-old also has the potential, and maybe this is just our kids, but has the potential to come off of like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and be like, that was the most fun ever. Like they still are really easily entertained and also like still believing that you're flying in Rise of the Resistance. Like, again, this could just be our little innocent angels, but like literally coming off like we just flew in the air. And, so you're really getting that window of like, they're old enough to do, pretty much everything. They have a lot more stamina. They can get through a day. They can walk, you still need breaks. Of course, everybody needs breaks,
right.
But they're going to be able to get through a day a little bit easier. They're just childlike wonder and big kid all in one. So we love this age.
When they get a little older, you get off of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and you're like, what kind of fever dream was that?
We just took some type of acid, I think. Right. Yeah, I know. It's so weird. It's so weird. I could do without that ride, but that's fine.
I love it.
It's only
so
in
weird.
Disneyland, though.
I know. It's very, whatever.
It is an odd ride. I still enjoy it.
Yeah. So we love this age.
Yeah, I think it is kind of a Disney sweet spot in there. I mean, they all have their amazing, all these age ranges have their pluses and their minuses, but this 6 to 8 is really magical. It
really is. Yeah. And again, everybody's different, and I'm very, very biased because this is, right in the age for my kids. And we still have like the, we definitely have to take a lot of breaks. I mean, I've said that already. Something that we have found, and maybe this isn't necessarily a kid thing, but it's just like a doing Disney thing, but something that we have found, and I think especially with this age, is the going off and having one-on-one time is so special. And we try to really, sometimes it just happens like, oh, I have to go here and I want to take them. And, and it just, but we really just try to prioritize, like, because it just slows everything way down. I mean, the sibling rivalry and just the energy and, just having that one-on-one time, those are the memories that are some of my favorite and my most special, is because, you can really have that time with that kid and enjoy it together. So, and the things that maybe they like to do that's special for them. So
I'm trying to think. I don't know that we've done much of the one-on-one stuff with our kiddos. I mean, I did with Caitlin when she turned 13. It was
okay. I was just about to say that's where the +2 cruises came from.
Yes. But we haven't, like, when we've all been off on as a family together, like I haven't gone off with Sterling and done just something with just me and him. Have we?
Yeah, you have, because Caitlin, like, even the last trip we did, Caitlin and I would go off and get like breakfast Ronto wraps, and you guys went and got, tots for breakfast or whatever. Yep. And then you guys wanted to go do data pad stuff over in Galaxy's Edge, and Caitlin and I wanted to go do whatever over at the Space Mountain.
There it is.
Wherever it was.
Look at all those things.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. It's really small things, like getting an ice cream cone together or riding one ride together. Like, it's not like overspending half the day. It's just the moment and the, that pause to have that time together, I think, is really sweet. For
Caitlin and I, it was one of them was actually a snack, because at the time both Alicia and Sterling still had braces on, and Caitlin and I were like, we want popcorn, so we're gonna let them go do like Matterhorn or whatever it was, and we're gonna go to Space Mountain and get some popcorn over there.
You need to live your life, you can't be held down.
Exactly. Caitlin and I also bond over churros, especially Disneyland.
Oh, yeah.
Disneyland churros are much
they're
better
superior.
than Disney World churros.
Far superior.
We actually have a kiddo in the next age bracket, the 9 to 12-year-old range.
Yes.
And there's still the childlike wonder that I see from Sterling on our trips. This past trip was when the switch flipped from him not enjoying roller coasters to enjoying roller coasters.
Oh, how old was he? What was that age?
It was either 9 or 10 when when his
switch flipped.
Yeah. And it was difficult for him because I adore roller coasters. And Nathan likes roller coasters and Caitlin likes roller coasters, and he did not. And I know he felt that stress because he wanted to like it. He just wasn't quite there yet.
He didn't like the feeling. He did not like the feeling in his tummy.
Yeah.
No. I can't do Guardians. Like that thing messes me up. So I don't like that feeling either. I like roller coasters, but just don't like the dropping. So it's hard. It's hard. So, but now he likes it.
He does. Like, we were on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and we had gotten the seat, and then he started freaking out a little bit. I'm like, Sterling, you've been on this many times. He's like, oh yeah, I have. And then he enjoyed it. It was just seriously out of nowhere. It's like, oh yeah, I've been on this. It's fine. And now he loves them. I don't know what happened.
Oh, wow.
He would psych himself out in his head, and then he's fine with it now.
That's true. I would imagine at this age, the sort of, because they're growing up, maybe some of like the fears that they might have had when they were little, or the things that they, were scared of or would affect them, maybe aren't affecting them as much anymore. So that's...
Well, and I think that's an opportunity for us as parents to help them work through some of those things too, of in a safe space, on Big Thunder, let's go see what we can do. Like it's going to be okay. And have more often than not, those breakthroughs are going to happen at some point in the, I'll say 6 to 12 year age of things work out.
Yes.
Yeah, things work out. And that could be a whole nother topic, right? Of, being scared on rides and kids and how to, what do you force them to do? What do you, just let go? And luckily our kids are just crazy and will do whatever. They'll do stuff that I don't want to do. But when they were little, I was ready. I was like prepared, like, if they're going to be scared, what are we going to do? And and for shows like Fantasmic, I was like, there's scary parts and, because we have got some sensitive ones. So yeah, but that's a whole nother topic of like, how much do you push them or not? But but for the, if we're talking about the 8 to 12-year-olds, something I wanted to mention that from my little Disneyland planning Bible, the unofficial guide to Disneyland, they said,
you're not sponsored, are you?
I am absolutely not, but I have to, because literally a lot of my opinions come from what they have said. I'm just a little robot just saying what they say. This is what they say the consensus is, and they take data from like all over and they do all sorts of research, but they say the consensus is that children's age is ideal for family compatibility and togetherness at Disneyland are 8 to 12 years. This age group is old enough, tall enough, and sufficiently stalwart to experience, understand, and appreciate practically all Disney attractions. They can get around the parks on their own steam without being carried or collapsing. So I thought that was really interesting, and I thought that was pretty accurate.
I think that's super accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the part about like understanding the attractions, like I was thinking about, Star Tours or like other things. It's like, what is even going on? I don't know. So they're old enough to sort of, understand what's happening
and the story behind it and
yes,
everything
yes,
like that.
yes.
Nobody understands Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, but it's
That's
fine.
right. That's right. That's not an 8 to 12 thing. That's a
No.
just
I don't know if you ever get to that point.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But again, I have an 8-year-old. So we're on the very low end.
Right on the brink,
But I thought that was really helpful.
Yeah.
And if you guys agree, then I guess that's that.
Yeah. I mean, if we said it, like
That's right.
that's the gospel right there. So you've traveled with some teens. You often share some pics with a bunch of other families that we all know. What was it like being in Disneyland with some teens? What are kind of your thoughts there?
Yeah. Well, and I have memories of being in Disneyland as a teenager. So I have my own personal, my Main Street Electrical Parade soundtrack. It was really fun to be there with teenagers. And when I was thinking about, gathering information for these posts, I reached out to a couple of the teenagers who went on the trip with us in the big group. Yeah. And is it okay if I just share what they shared?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So, and you guys, you have a teenager too. So you can speak to this as well. But they said it's special because as a teenager, you remember more of it. You get more freedom to choose how you spend the trip, which I thought sounds like really fun. It's really special to go off with like older siblings or the friends that you're with. It's fun to see the little kids enjoy the magic. And I feel like for teenagers, they pretend like they're big kids, which they are. They're big kids, but they're still kids. They are still kids. And like, I think that it gives them the freedom to be like, oh yeah, I'm a kid. And that pressure comes, all the pressures that they have. Yeah. I just feel like I'm just happy that they get a chance to be like, I can just be a kid again, Something else too that they were saying, that they loved the adrenaline and the magic as they got older. They could appreciate the food. They loved the food. Getting to do the little kiddish things while also getting to have fun on the older kid stuff. They said picking out outfits, which I thought was very cute. And then they also said just knowing how lucky you are to get to experience Disneyland. Because they said when you're younger, you don't really realize how special it is. And that made me tear up a little bit because I think that's so sweet. Like to have that perspective of like, yeah, this is really special that we get to be here. Not everybody, we are a very small percentage of the world who gets to experience something like this. So being that age, and they said it's something, Disneyland is just something that everyone in the family can have fun doing. So, for all the ages. And so anyway, that's what they said. I thought that was really helpful. And what do you guys think?
I think it's spot on. I know Caitlin has really enjoyed being at the parks and just going off and doing whatever. And she's had some time where, we met one of her best friends down there at the same point, and all the parents were like, we're going to go sit over here and, have a snack. Y'all go do whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
fun.
Disney.
Oh
You're not going to
gosh.
get in too much trouble. You have
Especially
a phone.
not
We
those
can find
two.
you.
Yeah, those two will
exactly.
never get into trouble.
No.
Yeah, that they get to have these opportunities to be little grown-ups, and they get to go off and do it, that freedom, I think, but in a safe place. And I think that's so fun.
Absolutely.
And be there with their friends. The lucky kids.
It's also nice as a parent because at that point you don't have that stress of worrying about this or that or the other thing. You're like, you have 3 hours to go do whatever. We'll meet you at, the hub at 9:00 or whatever. See ya. That's pretty cool.
That's so nice. Yeah. Ooh, that sounds so nice. Yeah, there's a whole layer of like, where are they? What are they doing? Like that with the little kids, it's like my senses are heightened, and it's hard. And maybe I'm also just tend to be an anxious person, but it's hard sometimes to be in the moment because I'm like, where are they? What are they doing? Where are we off to? Have they eaten? Are they tired? Like a lot of things are going off in my little ticker in my mind. So I can imagine as they get older that will help my anxiety come down so that I can start enjoying myself. Not that I don't enjoy myself, but so that sounds really nice.
I think, and we've talked about this offline a couple times about potentially you guys doing a Disney cruise.
Oh,
I think that at 7 and 8 or 8 and 9, by the time that kind of rolls around, you're going to be able to have a little glimpse of that on the ship.
I think that's a sweet spot on a cruise, age-wise.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Really do.
Yes, let's get into that. Yeah, 8. You said like 8, 9, 9.
I think that is a sweet spot for the cruise.
Take you off this and let John hear that.
Just with the activities that they have in the kids clubs for that age group, I think that is perfect timing for a cruise for kids.
Yep. And when we were on, back in August, Sterling was just, he was 10 coming up on 11. And we're like, yeah, we'll do the extra form. He can check himself in and out of the kids club. Like, he's on a ship. He's not going to, it's fine. He can't go very far.
You know your room number.
Exactly. He had his phone on him and we could, text him or whatever, and we gave him some leeway. Like, it's an opportunity to give them a little bit of leeway to go be off on their own. And it's still a safe place.
Confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for saying that. That's fun.
So, Michaela, we've talked about a whole bunch of stuff for lots of different age ranges. Is there anything we haven't covered? Like, is there anything that you'd love to kind of share as we kind of wrap up that discussion?
No, I think we covered it. I could talk for days about all sorts of things. So there's much more to cover in all the areas. So yes, we missed a lot of things, but I think in general about, age ranges, I think we did a pretty good job.
And if people want to know more, it's Instagram.
Oh, yes.
Mickey and Mick.
Mickey and Mick. Yes. I know it's a little bit complicated and a mouthful.
It's okay.
Yeah. Mickey _and_MC. Yeah. I would love to see anybody who'd like to join us. We have a fun time.
We'll see them in the comments. I love commenting over there.
We'll see you in the comments. Yeah.
All right, Alicia, it's time to stump Michaela.
Stump. Yeah.
Oh no, no quizzing.
Nah, this is just a list of your favorites. So
Thank you. I love this type of quiz. Just talking about myself.
who is your favorite Disney character? This can be Disney, Pixar, Star Wars, Marvel. Who's your favorite?
I really think Forky is very funny. So I think Forky is my favorite. I think he is just, I mean, Tony Hale is just maybe one of the best comedians of all time. So I think it's hilarious. Like, he's so funny.
Forky's trash.
Forky's trash.
What's your favorite movie?
Toy Story.
That's
like,
okay.
I know we're kind of in a
Theme here. That's all right.
niche. But yeah, those Toy Story movies are so genius. I mean, they really were like so genius, so funny.
So is it the first one?
Heartwarming. Yeah, I don't. What was it? The third one where they gave away the toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went into the bathroom and literally wept in there like a little baby.
That was a very emotional
true
movie.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was very emotional.
I don't know. Again, maybe I'm very unhealthy, but literally in my mind, as I'm weeping, I'm thinking, I'm sure the toys are so sad. It's bad.
Why does Pixar always have to make us cry? I don't get it.
They're good at that.
They're very heartwarming. Yeah. Toy Story 1, probably.
Your favorite classic ride?
Is Big Thunder Railroad considered a classic ride?
Yeah.
Totally. Then I would say that. It's like our family favorite ride. It's the one like that we all love and we all enjoy. And it's so fun. Yeah. Big Thunder.
What about your favorite newer ride?
I mean, Rise of the Resistance is like the greatest of all time. It's like not even like a ride. It's like an experience that you get thrown into. So I can't even say that it's like a ride. I couldn't even put it in that category, but it's like it's incredible. So, and I'm not even really a big Star Wars fan, sorry, but excuse me, hot dog. But it's just there's nothing like it, nothing. So it's incredible. So that would probably be my favorite new ride, and the fact that my kids think that we're flying.
Yes,
it's pretty cool.
You are flying. What do you mean?
Yeah, we are. I know.
Disney World or Disneyland?
I have never experienced Disney World with my kids. I know everything has to do with my kids, but we're hoping to get there really soon. So for that reason, I feel like I want to pick Disneyland just because it's just.
It is more compact. It is more walkable. Yes. Like you were saying earlier, the ability to get from one park to the other in about, 95 or 100 steps is pretty fantastic.
I know. It's just so nostalgic and sweet. And it's like the history of Walt. Like the whole, it just feels, it's the vibe.
Do you have a favorite park?
Oh boy. I mean, I really love Epcot. I think I love the eating. I feel like most everything revolves around when are we eating next? And, everything I'm here for the snacks. So Epcot is.
Go during a festival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which one do you guys like?
Mm-hmm.
We've been to 2. We've been to the Flower and Garden and we've been to the Food and Wine. So we'll be there for the Flower and Garden next week. We really enjoyed the Food and Wine though. So, and I mean, you can't go wrong with the name of that festival anyway. So
I know food and fine.
Yeah. Oh,
fine. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite character meal?
I liked Goofy's a lot. And it's sort of an unromantic or non-romantic reason, but it's because it's not in the park. You could go, without spending park time, and you could do like a dinner. There was like a dinner option or like a later option. So we liked that. But we ended up not even doing the dinner option. I think we did like a late breakfast. So it could be like breakfast and lunch at the same time. I really liked Goofy's.
Goofy's Kitchen over in the
Goofy's Kitchen at the Disneyland Hotel. Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite restaurant?
Oh, don't make me pick. I love them all. I have a special place in my heart for Cafe Orleans. I think the food there is so yummy, and I love sitting outside and the vibe, of like Orleans Square and, the Rivers of America. And like they had really good kids options. Our kids really liked it there. It's so good. And those, the Monte Cristo and the shrimp and grits and the
Monte Cristos are so good.
beignets. Yeah, so good. Yeah. So we split it, and then we get double sauces.
Ooh.
So you can get more sauce if you get it split.
What about favorite quick service?
What with these food ones that I have like my top 20.
Exactly. I know you're big into the different foods. That's why I'm asking these. And I'm not done yet either.
I literally have a spreadsheet. Well, the first thing that came to mind is the churro gears at Maurice's Treats by the castle. They are a sweet little surprise. And they're so good. They're like little donuts that look like churro wheels. And they're very, very good with like cinnamon and sugar.
I don't think I've seen those before. I
know exactly where they are.
I gotta go. I'll have Amex will travel. See ya.
Yeah, they're like a funnel cake donut churro.
Sounds good. We don't have a Disneyland trip planned right now. And I'm pretty sure, Nathan, you mentioned that you had an email the other day of Disneyland offering, hey, would you like to be a Magic Key owner?
Are you saying that?
Hey, knock, knock.
I mean, since we can't get Disney
there?
World annual passes right now, there is another option available to us.
Oh boy. Do you want me to go off the call just for a couple minutes?
We need some couples counseling.
Actually,
could you mediate?
It's actually please stay.
I did find out, Michaela, that if I take the 6:30 flight from Seattle, I can be in the park at the gate after stopping off at a hotel by 11 in the morning.
Doing the math. That's
strategery right here.
Strategery. I have one last question. Favorite Disney snack?
It can. It's just so mean. No, I can't. I will not offend all my other Disney snack friends.
What is your favorite Disney snack?
Today. Okay, what am I feeling?
If you could have any Disney snack right now, what would you have?
I'm feeling those churro gears, but we've already established that I like the churro. And we're doing snacks, so I can't just do some fried chicken, which could be a snack. But I do love that fried chicken. Funnel cake. But that's just
You're
my
just listing
answer.
Everything. You need to pick one.
This is cheating.
I think my real answer. I do love the corn dogs are good. The Jack Nom Nom cookies from by the Incredicoaster, except that's not their name, but that's what we call them. We'd call them the Nom Nom cookies. It's like Jack.
It's Num Num Cookie. It is.
It's Jack Cookie Num
yes.
Num.
Okay, you had the words. They were just in the different places.
Yeah. No, but we say nom nom.
Oh, N-O-N instead of N-U-M.
Nom nom.
Whatever.
Nom nom. But yeah, those are some really delicious, overly priced chocolate chip cookies.
They're big. They're really big, though.
They are.
They're pretty big. Yeah, they're pretty big. Those are delicious. But what I was going to say was the shawarma wrap in the Avengers Campus. They have like a breakfast wrap with like a spicy syrup with some impossible meat in there, which I appreciate. And it's a very delicious quick breakfast.
Nice.
I didn't know they had breakfast stuff.
Yes.
See, we can learn new things.
Well, you guys probably have done it so much. You have the things that you like. It's like, we like this. We do this.
We go to Pim's for breakfast.
Yeah. That was going to be my question. I was like, do you do breakfast at Pim's?
Or
Pim Kitchen.
Or a breakfast Ronto wrap from Ronto
Yes.
Roasters in Galaxy's Edge.
Depends on what park we're going to.
Yeah. Have you had the breakfast chimichanga
No.
by the Big Thunder Railroad? Those are some hot items. You have to get there fast because they run out.
I will say if it has any spice or heat to it, it will not get eaten. Like Sterling and I tried the shawarma and our mouths went on fire. We had like one bite and we're like, nope, sorry.
Oh, that's precious.
We cannot
We're
handle
delicate
the
little
heat.
flowers over here.
No, yeah, no, I also can't do spice too. Yeah. Those are fun questions.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alicia. You took us on quite a journey. And I don't think I gave you a straight answer.
I made
okay.
I made you answer. I did.
You did. Yeah. Hold her
You
to
said,
it.
what did you say? Oh my gosh, now I forgot what you said.
Yeah, which one did I finally land on?
It's
We'll
fine.
never know.
Whatever.
Was it the Jack
It was
Jack
a
Num
num-num
Num,
cookie.
or was
Cookie
it the
num-num,
shawarma?
No, it was a Jack Jack cookie num num by the Incredicoaster. That was your favorite snack at this time.
Which now I'm like,
Well, it's a new minute. It's changed, right?
Michaela, we could talk to you all night.
Nathan. Yes, I know. Aren't I a gem?
Of course you are. Don't sell yourself short. You definitely are.
It's been so great to talk to you. I can't wait to get you on a cruise with us.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that will be mind blowing. That's insane to even think about. That's
As soon as we
fun.
hang up, you and John just get
do
on
it.
DisneyCruise.com. Let's go.
I've got it queued up. I'm not the one slowing us down here. Yeah, I'd love to talk to you guys more about it. I have lots of
Absolutely.
questions.
And we will definitely have you on. Best of luck with the Instagram account. Mickey and Mick, Mickey_and_MC. I can't wait to see what you post over there next.
I appreciate that. And you've been a faithful supporter. I think you were my first, maybe my second follower. But thank you for your undying support. Since day one.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. When I'm like, ask a question, you're like, where do you find the best churro? And I'm like, thank you for the question. Just helping a girl out. I appreciate it.
Trying to help out a fellow content creator. I mean, it's important.
No, totally. I know. It's a tough job
That's
out
right.
there.
That is a very important question, though.
It is.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. This is so fun.
Thank you again. I can't wait to have you on again. Everybody needs to go.
Got to wrap this
Everybody
up.
everybody needs to follow you on Instagram. I need to start editing this.
Nathan.
It's gonna take forever. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's what you get when you get me. Thanks, you guys. This is so fun.
Thanks, Michaela. We'll talk to you soon. We're not affiliated with Disney and we're not travel agents. While we can offer our opinions and suggestions, we recommend working with a travel agent to plan your perfect vacation.
If you have any questions or suggestions, or would like to be interviewed on our show to share your Disney experience, please send us an email to podcast@ourmousecapades.com.
And just a special note, that is a new email address. The old one still works, but we got a shorter domain because search engine optimization is a thing. And also, I got tired of typing the longer domain. So everything now is at Our Mousecapades. We're on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and email podcast at ourmousecapades.com. Give us a rating and review in your podcast app. That really helps people find us.
Thank you for listening. We'll be in your ears next week.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.